Hi again. Um, just another story. This time, this as another shamanic journey that I went to on that was to find my um my like my inner teacher. So my like a teacher guide. And often you will go to the upper realm to find these teachers. They could be like you might have an ascended master appear if you are, of a certain religious um, denomination. You might see Jesus or Buddha or Allah, um, or you can. It just depends on where you are from. So you will the embodiment of whoever appears to you will be familiar to you. So you will feel comfortable with that person. So again, you have an access point, and when you're going up into the upper realm, it's like going to the celestial realms, the heavenly realms. So there's that feeling of moving upwards. So with the animals, it was going down into the lower realm. So you'd access that through like a cave or a hole or going down a waterfall that takes you down, anything that takes you downwards. Um, and with the spirit teacher or guides, you go to the upper realm. So I started just outside my house. We live like on a hilltop. And so I went to the highest part of our farm, and there was just a ladder there. So this is what I love about shamanic journeys so much is, it's like dreaming. So things just appear, or you can just fly, like you can just push off and fly up. But as it was with this one, this was only my probably second or third time of journeying. Um, and it was in a group with the School of Shamanic Womancraft. So it was really well run, um, in a safe environment with knowledgeable people teaching us. So yeah, I started climbing this ladder, and it was like a string ladder. Um, just kept going up and up and up and up higher into the sky. And then I climbed through a mist, and then all these levels started to appear. And I kept, as I went higher through each level, there'd be different doors. So, with each level I went up higher, there was doors. And then the ladder again went into like a spiral staircase. So I'll often have that spiral um, movement up or down in my personal visions. So when I got to a red door, I stopped out the front of this red door, and it was kind of little round. It was round in shape. It was wooden, painted red. I asked if I could go inside, and inside it was a medicine woman, the room of a medicine woman, and she was really, really old. She had like the long plaits. She reminded me of um, an old Inuit lady, and she told me that she was my teacher. And I looked around her room, and it was full of like herbs. There was different talismans. There was skins, feathers, rocks. And then there was three huge windows looking out over the world, basically. So she had, it was like um, the room she worked in for healing. Anyway, she told me to lie down on the floor, and I ended up, like, I laid down and I was just naked and lying on her floor. And she rubbed some charcoal across my heart space. and she rubbed some red clay into my womb, over the top of my womb. And she put rubbed clay down both of my legs. And then I was lying and I had my palms upwards, and she put a magpie, so two magpies stood on my palms, and they were, alive, and so I could feel the weird, they were moving with their feet. So yeah, I was kind of lying there, and I had these two magpies on my hands. Um, and then she was rubbing all this stuff. She put a blue crystal at my throat, and she placed some kind of powder on my third eye chakra. And then she was kind of standing over me, and she went really small. So she shrunk in size to about here, and she was standing on my heart. And she was able to put her hands through my skin as if it was nothing. And she reached into my heart, and she pulled out like this shard, like a black shard of broken glass. It was like quite thick. It was dark black, and it was all kind of jagged on the edges. And then after she did that, she went to my womb space, and she did, I don't know what she was doing, but she was doing some clearing out of the womb space, and she did the same, some clearing around my third eye, and then also around my crown chakra. And one of the reasons why I did this course in the first place was because I was struggling with the cold weather, and down where I live, the winters are really long. They go for 6 or 7 months. They're not freezing cold like in Canada or anything, but they're wet and rainy, and they're windy. Probably a bit like English weather, I suppose, but it's at the base of Australia. And I was struggling with just adapting to living. Like, it was stopping me from living to my fullness. So that was a big thing I wanted to address, healing myself from being affected by the cold weather. So anyway, she took me to this mountain that was covered in ice and snow, and she told me that I had to learn to live with the cold. So I was still naked, and she got me to lie down in the snow on my back. I was kind of looking up. It was all white again, like on this mountain. It was on a mountaintop. It was what, icy cold. I just lay there, and until I felt the ice and cold kind of come through into my bones. Just to lie there and breathe, and just feel. I just had to feel the cold without reacting. So that was interesting. Then she took me back to her room at the top of this, in this upper realm. And then she told me that, she put her hand on my heart, and she said, in my heart, I will find the wisdom. And then in my womb, I will find the wisdom. And that sitting in circle with women, I would find the wisdom. I asked her what her name was, and her name was Awla. Awla. So she was like an earth woman, healer. She was a healer of the earth. She, she was the embodiment of like the mystery, and the magic, and knowing how to use the elements of the earth to heal. Yeah, so again, I wanted to stay. Always these journeys are too short for me. I have like so much more I want to kind of experience with my guides. But the drum called me back, so I went back down the staircase, and then down the ladder, and back into my body. And yeah, come back into that the earth consciousness. So yeah, all has been with me a lot. So I did do a lot of healing with her. When I first started this in early 2018, it was a way for me to heal because I didn't want to, you know, abandon my family or my children. Like, I didn't want to split up my family. I wanted to heal. I wanted to stay where I was. I didn't want to have to move away and separate everything and, you know, make those sort of changes. But I knew I had to go within and be able to change my reactions to things and um, learn how to live, learn how to thrive in going into places that usually would make me panic or frightened or you know, go into that depression. So doing this shamanic womancraft course allowed me to go into a space of very deep it was like taking a dive underwater, which is where I would be in that depression. I feel like I was underwater, but panicking. And then doing that course, that 4 seasons journey with the School of Shamanic Womancraft in Australia, that allowed me to go into underwater into a meditative state and to sit and feel the quietness of it, that space, and to welcome that winter time as that time of going within and going under the water and sitting in meditation. And like it was like stillness, and my hair, you know, when you're underwater and your hair just kind of floats and it just moves gentle, and I could always breathe. So, and I could just sit and be in this beautiful meditative state and not be scared of going into that place. So yeah, my medicine woman helped me go to a lot of places, and because I would have that intention of healing a certain thing. So if there was a certain thing that wanted to be healed or that needed addressing, something that was coming to the front, some kind of trigger, I could go into that drumming journey. Um, and I used my drum like I just would drum myself and be able to take myself on those journeys because I access really quickly the visions. But you can use, you know, there's drumming journeys on, you know, on Spotify and those sort of things. So you can do it yourself. It's just learning how to access safely and knowing, you know, going in with the intention that to meet only for your highest good, keeping that intention pure. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for listening.